Hello, my sewing friends. This is Friday Sews. I'm Jen, and this is the sewing room that saw a lot of action this week. Really a lot of action. So let me just jump in and start with the things that didn't work, and we'll end on a very high note and talk about the things that did. First up is Vogue 9586. I like this so much. It's from 1996 and I love this. It says it's easy, and I would kind of agree with that, but there are some problems with this. I added hair to the model because she looked too severe. Well, I used a cotton lyocell from Joann Fabrics that I found on clearance last year, and it's a little stiff, and I don't love the color. I think I was just on like one of those, oh my gosh, it's on sale, it's such a good deal, give me that. Well, lyocell is a natural fabric like tencel or viscose or rayon. So I thought it was going to be softer than it is, and it's not. It's got I don't know what else in it. I think it's cotton and lyocell and something else, but I don't know what the other thing is. And so it's too stiff. And I wish that I had done this side front in the same bias kind of way that I did the yoke. And it doesn't fit. I put a random zipper up the back just to see if it would fit, and the armholes need to be made shorter in the front, and I could take the whole thing apart and redo it, which is what I usually do. But honestly, I just don't want to. It's the wrong fabric. It's not the color that I don't know. I just don't like the color. It's beautifully lined with some really nice lining. It's cotton batiste, but you know what? No, it's not gonna work. I do want to try the pattern again, but in a different fabric. And I did notate on the pattern envelope the changes that I need to make. Simplicity 9223 is in the books currently, and I really liked this. I don't like it as long as it is, so I made mine a little shorter, and I made it out of this calico cotton that I had gotten last year on my sewcation with my sewing sisters here in Florida. I got it in Miami. I love the print, and it did turn out well, although I had some problems with it. And so I'll tell you about those later. A couple of things about this pattern that you should know before you make it. I'll tell you about those, like I say, later. This is Easy Stitch and Save by McCall 7757. It is from 1995, I think. Yes. And I seem to have this fixation with 1995, 6. I don't know why. This is the cutest dress. I want to make this again. This comes in 2 sleeve options. I made it sleeveless, and it's so flattering because it has gathering here in the front, but it's princess seamed, and the side bodice goes all the way down, whereas the front isn't cut in 2 pieces. Kind of like that. Does that help you? Yeah. And we've got this little belt going on in the front that you can put buttons on. The buttons are decorative, they don't function. And I made it out of this IKEA sheet that I thrifted, and it's so happy. It's such a happy little dress. You know, I just love it. It is a little bit short on me, and I don't know, it's short on the model, but I don't think it's as short on her as it is on me. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put, I think, a hem band at the bottom. I haven't hemmed it yet, but it's just so fun to wear, and it's so flattering, and has side seam pockets. And the only thing I think I will do differently when I make this again is just kind of angle that side seam in a little bit, because it could use a little more shape, but I don't care. I love it. I turned out just so well. And the huge wins, of course, this week were Simplicity 8640. This is my favorite dress of all time. I currently have 5 hanging in my closet, and I don't repeat patterns usually ever. And I just keep making this over and over because it's the perfect dress for the way I live. I finished this one last week. This is a rayon chalet, and I have no idea where I got it, but I added flutter sleeves to it. Now, it does not call for flutter sleeves. It has a straight sleeve if you want to make it straight sleeved. I always make it sleeveless, except for this time when I made it with sleeves. It dresses it up quite a bit. And so I went out to lunch today with my wonderful gift from God friend, Carmen Salome. Really, this woman is, I don't even know how to explain to you what truly a gift she is in my life. To have, you know, found her. God just brought her to me and brought her into my life, and she's wonderful. And so it's always good to get to spend time with her and, you know, just kind of talk about everything. So I wore this when I went to lunch with her today, and so it's so breezy, so comfortable, but it is a little more dressy, and I got to wear my shoes that I bought because I never buy shoes. I bought shoes recently. And then I also finished this one, which is a cotton knit. It is a stable knit. I would not make this pattern out of a rayon knit or a polyester knit that is very, very like four-way stretch. I wouldn't do this pattern out of that. It does need to be stable, a stable knit, like an interlock or a ponte, or this just is a cotton knit. I wondered if this had some lycra in it, and if it does, it's a very, very, very small amount. It does have two-way stretch like this, but no stretch this direction. So I love this so much. This print came from Joanne Fabrics, and I got it about a week ago, I think, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, and it just turned out perfectly. I put in side seam pockets, and I figured out that if I measured from the armhole down to the top of a side seam pocket that I'd made before that fits perfectly, it's at the perfect spot, just figure out that measurement and then always put your side seam pockets there. It worked great. So I love this. When I put it on, it feels like I'm not wearing anything. It feels like, don't go out of the house in that because you're like wearing a nightgown. But it doesn't look like that at all when I put it on. So I love this. Ah, huge win, huge. This morning I worked on Vogue 8952 from the 1980s. And I thought I was going to have to become an astrophysicist to figure out the folding. I thought, is this time travel? The way I'm folding space and time. Oh my gosh, the pleats on the front of this thing, and nearly drove me to drink. It was terrible. You can see it's got they're pleats that go out like that. They come up this way, and then you cross them over, but it's all one piece. It's not two pieces of fabric that you wrap. It's just, you kind of fold them, and it's like origami. Oh my gosh. And this was no help at all. Come on, Vogue. Not enough instruction written out, and these were useless. Well, not completely useless. What I finally figured out was that I was doing the mirror image of what this was showing me. And once I figured that out, then it was okay. But, oh my gosh, I was gonna lose my mind trying to figure it out. So I was working on that this morning. And you know, honestly, this chalet that I'm making it out of, it's rayon chalet, and it's beautiful. It has beautiful drape, but it didn't help me at all. It didn't have enough body in it to really hold those pleats. And I think that I'll be interested to see how this turns out, because I have a feeling that this is going to blouse over that tie waistline band thing. And yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm hopeful, but not very confident in the way this is going to turn out. I think that this would be great in a cotton voile. It's light enough, but it has some body to it. So, okay, moving on. I was looking for a pattern or two. I think there were two patterns I was looking for recently, and I ran across this one, so I bought it on Etsy. I think it was on Etsy or eBay. It's Butterick 4826, and it is the dress that I made and wore for my high school graduation. Oh, I loved that dress. It turned out so cute. And you know, for those of us here in America, when you graduate from high school, usually it's in the summer, like in June or May, and you always wear a robe, like a choir robe or a, I don't know, scholastic kind of, I don't know, it's a robe. And it's hot. It's always hot. So, you know, the idea was make as cool an outfit as you can to wear underneath that robe. So that this is what I made. It's a halter with a wrap skirt and then an exposed ruffle flounce. And like I say, I felt like $1,000,000 in this dress. And so when I saw the pattern, I thought, oh, I have got to get that. This does not have a date on it, but I can tell you that I graduated from high school in 1977, so it's probably right around then. Boy, I was so happy to have found that. It's just such a cute dress. And this past week on Monday, I flew up to Ohio and I needed to go see the dentist on Tuesday, so I drove over to Indianapolis. I was early for my appointment, so I ducked into Hobby Lobby and I found this. This is the perfect third fabric for a collab that I'm doing with Michelle from Michelle Sews Again, linked below. And so is Carmen, by the way. And I needed a third companion fabric to 2 other fabrics that I already have, and I had gotten those at Hobby Lobby, so this was perfect. I just pulled them off the wall because I already had them. And I'm laying them all out along with a couple of other fabrics, and now I settled on this one. So it's just a calico cotton. That's all it is. Jen Hadfield, Homemade Wildflowers 2019, printed for HLS, which I think is Hobby Lobby stores. So it just needs to go in the washer, and then I can get going on that project, which, by the way, brings me to the question for this week, which is, have you ever drafted, like self-drafted a pattern or draped a pattern, draped a garment on like a dress form? No, I have not. I can Frankenstein patterns together all day long, but have I ever draped one? No. Have I tried? Yes. The thing is, I get lost in the process. Like I'm pinching things out and putting them together and I'm thinking that's never gonna work. And then I get completely lost, not knowing what I was doing. And so I have a couple of books, Draping for Fashion Design. And this is an older book. It's from 1973. It's by Hilde Jaffe and Nuri Relis. I think that's how you say their names. I'm not completely sure. And then I also have Pattern Making for Fashion Design. This is by Helen Joseph Armstrong, and you can see it's still in the plastic. Yes, that's how far I've gotten with it. I just haven't gotten far enough along in my sewing journey to be able to feel confident enough to do that. But I think that that's ahead of me, and I don't think it's very far ahead of me. I think at some point I'm going to try it. I can tell you there are several people here on YouTube who do it really well. They draft their own or they drape them, and I'll list them in the description box. But you might want to have a look at them because, boy, these women are talented. Whoo, baby. So I think that'll do it for Friday Sews. Not really much happening on the life front, so I don't really have anything to tell you. But don't forget to check out all of the other Friday Sewers. Just click on the hashtag. You can filter your results, bring them up by upload date, and it will give you all of these people that you will love, I promise. And as always, if you'd like to see a playlist of all of my Friday Sews, check right over here. And that'll do it for me for now. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget that you are the apple of God's eye.